people living with HepC. And there's 360 million people living with hepatitis B. We're looking at an epidemic proportion. And again, as Dr. Farley says, British Columbia government doesn't believe that this is an epidemic. So, as I mentioned, I worked as a HepC nurse for 14 years. I've had many of my colleagues say, why do you do what you do? I'm the only one that does the job I do. I have anywhere from 30 to 50 patients on treatment at all times. I outreach to Duncan once a month. I cover down as far as Shawnigan Lake, up to Bowser, across to Tofino and Yakulit, and I am the only one doing this job. I have no clerical people to help. My husband is going to become my clerical staff soon. And I have a group of volunteers. We have developed many different initiatives within our community. And what we decided to do, along with a group of dedicated physicians, we wanted to provide patients that are living with chronic disease. And do you know that up until about 3 years ago, hepatitis C wasn't even classified as a chronic disease? And it should be under the mandate of chronic disease management within our healthcare systems. And at this point in time, it's being brushed under a blotter on the desk. So, the consensus guidelines that were brought out by the Canadian Association for the Study of the Liver back in 2004, as well as 2007, stated that all patients that have hepatitis C should be assessed for treatment. And as Dr. Farley alludes, we're only treating 1,000 patients in British Columbia a year. So when we look at the percentage analysis, we're treating patients that are infected with chronic HepC 11 to 15%. That is absolutely disgusting. When when it was laid out by the Canadian Association for the Study of the Liver, this, consensus guidelines, that was back 2004. We're now in 2010. We need to make change. So, from a mandate of community, I'm going to again go to a favorite author of mine, Margaret Betts Hall, who defines the term community. As a community is a way of relating to other persons as brothers and sisters who share a common origin, who share a common dignity, and who share a common destiny. Our community is hepatitis C. And our community involves learning to live with the terms of an interconnected we and move from that of an isolated I. And the majority of patients that are living with chronic HepC do feel isolated. It's incredibly devastating. So we need to move forward and we need to increase collaborative partnerships, and that's between patients living with HepC and chronic disease and our healthcare system. And to date, we are not doing that. Sometimes I'm ashamed to call myself a nurse, and the fact that I feel very bad that we've not moved forward in a collaborative partnership with our healthcare system. So within my community, what have I done to try and make a difference? And I'm surprised I haven't torn out my hair or gone bald at this point. So what I did to increase awareness of the infectivity rates in my community for diagnosis and to increase access to treatment. In 2009, I started a small pilot project. And I got back into my car and I went into physicians' offices to increase awareness of proper testing. I see, as Dr. Farley mentions, patients that are misdiagnosed. I had a girl that was told for 7 years she had hepatitis C. When I did further testing on her, she'd been told for 7 years she had a disease that she did not have. And so we need to get the awareness out for proper testing. We need to do the anti-HC